Welcome to a religious education 5-minute recap video. We're on the exam board Eduqas. We're looking at the foundational Catholic theology paper and we're exploring the origins and meaning unit. Today's session is going to focus upon different Christian attitudes towards abortion, and I'm hoping you'll be able to explain those attitudes by the end of it. So first of all, the definition of abortion, it is the removal of the fetus from the womb before it can survive. Now, it was legalised in Britain in 1967, and you can have an abortion up to 24 weeks of pregnancy. However, specific criteria have got to be met. So 2 doctors must agree on some of the following areas. The mother's life is at risk, the mother's physical or mental health is at risk, the baby's likely to be born severely handicapped, or even the fact that the birth would have a seriously bad effect on the other children in the family. Now, when we're moving into this, you need to be aware, of some key ideas around abortion. They include the term pro-life and pro-choice. Now, pro-life simply states that abortion is always wrong. People who are pro-life, they believe that life begins when the sperm meets the egg. That's known as conception, and they believe that every human has a right to life. Now, on the other hand, pro-choice, abortion could be allowed because they believe that it is the woman's choice, it's her body, and she should be able to choose what happens to her body. So this would include the right to have an abortion. Now, considering all this, the reason why people are divided is because ultimately it's the consideration of when does life begin. Is it at that point of conception? Is it when the heartbeat develops? Is it when the fetus becomes viable? And that's just a term that means it can survive inside the womb on its own. However, the Catholic Church, they're quite clear on their attitude towards abortion. They are pro-life and they're against abortion in all circumstances. They believe that life is sacred, so it's holy, and they believe that it begins at conception, so when the sperm meets the egg. And ultimately, God is the one who gives life, only He can take it away. Now, their evidence and support for this is grounded in the Bible. And first of all, in the Bible, we know that God made man in His image. So according to Genesis, life is sacred because God has made it. Furthermore, abortion would be considered murder, and therefore it breaks the 10 Commandments, breaking the commandment of thou shalt not kill. Furthermore, various popes have also spoken about abortion. Now, Pope John Paul II, he confirmed the Church's stance on abortion in an encyclical, that's a letter to all people, called Evangelium Vitae, and he quite clearly set out that abortion is wrong. It is the direct killing of a human being. Furthermore, Pope Francis, he also confirmed that the Church sees abortion as a form of murder. Now, the Church of England are a different type of Christian. Now, their views are slightly more relaxed or liberal. Now, although all churches are pro-life, no church is going to actively promote or recommend abortion. However, some Christian churches, such as the Church of England, they may allow it in some situations. So, for example, if the pregnancy is a result of rape, if the woman's mental health is at risk, or if a child would be born severely disabled, then the Church of England would sit there and say these may be acceptable situations to allow an abortion. This is grounded in a teaching called the lesser of two evils. So if you'll notice on the screen, there's one word of evil that is really big and there's one that's small. The argument would be, imagine the world, which evil would you rather have in? Would you rather have a mother and a child losing their life, really evil, or the fetus being aborted, which is still evil, but it's less than losing both lives? So ultimately, this is a good piece of evidence for you to use when you're trying to sit there and defend the idea of the Church of England saying abortion can be okay in some circumstances. Furthermore, Church of England may also say that Jesus taught about forgiveness, love and understanding. For this reason, it might be a loving thing to do to allow a woman to have an abortion if their mental or physical health is suffering because of the pregnancy. And this is grounded in Jesus' teaching of love thy neighbour. Now look at the checklist here. I have gone through this rather quickly, but if you can go through each of these key terms, see if you can link them to the topic of abortion and break it up and try and ground it in some good pieces of evidence for those extra marks. If you want to push yourself a little bit further, have a look at these questions and try and go through them, plan some responses and give it a good go. Whatever you're up to, best of luck and thanks for listening.